All right. Welcome back, campers. This is episode 2 of the Cousin Camp podcast. We are in our second season. I am Chris Dunn, your host and founder. I'm joined by Phil Costa. He is a very special guest, and he happens to be an NFL alum, former center of the Dallas Cowboys. Also, he is in commercial real estate. He's an advisor, and he's a part of a bunch of other cool organizations. Phil, we spoke a little bit in the pre-show, but me and the campers just want to get an idea of how your summer's been so far and what you're doing to keep busy nowadays.
Yeah, Chris, thanks for having me on.
You're
This
welcome.
summer, what have I been up to? A lot of real estate and a lot of going down the shore.
That's
So,
good.
yeah, it's been a good combination of the two.
Absolutely, yeah. I that's you did mention that you went down to the shore, and it was with me and Phil got linked up together through our old high school coach, Tony Lorraine, also known as Coach Nut. Is a
Mm.
great man, and this summer I went down to Florida. Visit my parents, spent some time with them, and that was pretty enjoyable. Had a week's vacation, took it easy, and been pretty much like working, a good amount this summer. Whether it's I live on a farm. It's my grandfather's farm. Me and my cousin are leasing, from him, and there's, always something to do in terms of like the work that needs to be done. We raise some cattle and everything, so we've been helping
Ah,
out in that
cool.
regard. Yeah, and there's grass to be cut and everything, which is cool. It's a good opportunity to be active and get stuff done. As far as what I do, as I mentioned in the pre-show, I am in the car business. Inventory isn't really as optimal as we like it to be, but we're doing a good job in terms of selling units and making good money. But it is Ford dealership, Smith Motor Company, campers. If you're listening to the episode, stop by. We have an exceptional sales and service department. And Phil is actually a Ford driver himself. He is currently driving a Ford Explorer. He is a city driver. You do spend some time, a good amount of time in the city, don't you, Phil? Philadelphia, correct?
Yes, yeah. So I live in Philadelphia.
Okay, gotcha. That's where you live now. Whereabouts in Philly?
Like Center City, right. It's an area called Washington Square.
Okay, very good. Yeah, glad to hear. I actually went to school in Philadelphia too. I went to LaSalle University, North Philly, Olney Avenue, close to
Yep.
Temple, and graduated with a business degree. And just to give you a little bit of my professional background, I after college I did a little bit of sales, business to business, sales and marketing, and I also did a few other things as well. Whether it was retail or um, helping out with some other clerical work. Then I was able to have a good opportunity to work at the family business in 2017 in the car industry, and it's been a very rewarding experience. I was able to visit a lot of places. I mentioned I took part in car swaps. Um, I was actually able to go to visit different states at different at we call it the Ford sale, but it's called Mannheim. There's like a bunch of pre-owned vehicles that are set to pick up for the dealership. We take part in an auction, and our manager purchases these vehicles. So I'd go and pick them up. I've been to Michigan for the first time. That was to pick up a truck that we needed, and a bunch of other states too. I went down to the Mannheim location in Mississippi. It was I haven't been there in a long, long time. I've driven through there like when I was very young, but I'm sure Phil, with being a former professional athlete, he's done a lot of traveling in his time. Phil, we want to get into your experience. Playing for Dallas. You were a former offensive lineman. How was that experience for you?
It was awesome, man. So originally, I'm from New Jersey. Played college football at Maryland, where I was at for 5 years, University of Maryland in College Park.
Hmm.
After that, went on and played 4 years for the Dallas Cowboys.
Awesome.
Played center and guard there, and man, just fortunate for, I knew it too. Every day when I walked in the facility, it was like, man, I'm happy to be here and lucky to be here. So I appreciated it, not only now but while I was in there too.
Awesome. Very good. Yeah. That sounds like an amazing privilege. And uh, during your stay with the Cowboys, uh, I'm sure you met a lot of cool people, and also there is the Hard Knock special that's coming up. The Dallas
Yeah, yeah,
Cowboys are going to be a part of it.
yep,
I'm going to be sure to watch that.
same.
Also, yeah, I mean that'll be interesting. I don't know if I'll be able to. It might be a little late for me tonight. We'll see what happens. We'll see how the day goes, but I definitely want to check it out. But afterward, you were inspired to write a book. Mr. Costa is an author. His first publishing is the Transition Playbook for Athletes: How Elite Athletes Win After Sports. I finished this book recently. There's a lot of good quotes and advice for athletes and just people of any profession. Phil, when did you think it was the right time to get into this book, and what was your inspiration behind it?
So, like a lot of athletes, the transition from sports to the next thing was difficult for me. And, it inspired me to say, hey, what resources are out there? And it really go research and what resources, books, podcasts, um, to resources that'll help athletes. And I just didn't feel like there was a book that, met that criteria that I thought would really speak to athletes.
Hmm.
So I worked with Rob Curley, co-author, and our goal from day one was, hey, if we get one person, one athlete who calls us, reaches out, and this book impacts them, it's a success. And we've been fortunate; we've had a lot more than that. I get a lot of text from former teammates, and get a lot of really Instagram, Facebook messages, and it's been really humbling from that aspect of people just reaching out, just wanting to have a conversation. And I think a lot of times it just helps the athletes to talk it through and just have a sounding board.
Absolutely. I happened to notice Summer Sanders was actually one of the athletes to be interviewed. That was pretty cool because I remember she used to be on that Nickelodeon show. I forget the name of it, but that was cool. She was an Olympic swimmer, and she's been on TV, and that was pretty cool. I mean, it's just amazing, to you know have this podcast with you right now because I remember watching some of your games. My college roommate Vito, he's a big Cowboys fan, and I saw you playing at centers and I told him that you were actually at one of my football camps in high school when I was at Paul VI, and
Yep.
now we get to talk, and that's very cool. And Vito is a diehard Cowboys fan. It's I'll be
Awesome.
sure to tell him about it. Also, I we were talking about the book. Also, there is a schedule change in the NFL. Um, they're going from a 16 game season to a 17 game season. They're adding an extra game. I just wanted to ask you, um, how does how did a 16 game schedule compare to a shorter schedule? Um, how did it compare to a shorter schedule, in college and high school, on a mental and physical level?
So my schedule, at least 2 of the 4 years, is always a little longer because I'm sure you watch, and seeing the Hall of Fame game. So, I played in that a couple years, and that means you go to camp earlier than everybody else.
Hmm.
So, it's tough on the body, but 16 to 17 games, yes, it's a difference. Every game matters. But these guys are, and their jobs are to take care of their bodies and recover. And with the best tools they have right now in the world, I
Hmm.
think guys are, really taking advantage of them and being able to take care of their bodies to come back and be able to, compete for a longer season. And 17 games for guys who go to the playoffs and Super Bowl, they're playing a lot more games than that. So
Mm.
it's not not some uncommon area.
Very good. In the book, you mentioned, well, it's actually mentioned how important networking is. While you're in playing pro sports, whether it's a pro sport or a college sport. Was there much networking on your end while you were with the Cowboys?
There was. So it's also an area I wish I probably did a little more while I was playing.
Hmm.
Um, because when you meet somebody as an athlete, once you're done and not playing anymore and wearing that jersey, it's more impactful, I would say, than, meeting them after when they were part of your journey. Um,
Hmm.
but with that said, we did do a lot of networking, did a lot of business events and dinners while we were there. But, probably just wish I did a little more.
Absolutely, yeah. It's very important in the business world. That's a very good point you made. Making those connections, while you can, in the moment, because you never know when that opportunity may arise. We'll get into the Athlife Foundation campers. The Athlife Foundation is a national platform. It works to ensure that deserving kids from the nation's most challenged yet promising communities can achieve in their future careers beyond sport. Phil actually happens to be on the board of directors. And how has that been for you, Phil? Do you provide much training on your end, or like any input? Like, how does that typically work?
Yeah, certainly. So the Athlete Foundation is an area and a charity that's really important to me. I do sit on the board of directors there, and what we do is, as you said, we serve high school aged athletes in underserved communities, and
Hmm.
we put a coach mentor in place at these schools to make sure the athletes are following through, to make sure they're going to class, make sure they're accountable, going to practice each day, make sure they're getting good grades. And it puts somebody in place to, somebody who already cares about them. And now it's a role and a paid role where this coach mentor is responsible and even takes these athletes under their wing even more. So it's a really important charity. Um, and we're doing some really important work there.
Okay. What kind of I guess you see different kinds of athletes. What's been your favorite sport to mentor?
My background is football, so
Yeah.
it's just very natural for football, and that's kind of where I've hung my hat. But
Hmm.
I played everything growing up. Played baseball, basketball, golf. Um, so I can kind of touch it and talk about a little bit of everything.
Very good. Yeah, that is the Athlete Foundation, and you can definitely see them online. And yeah, it's definitely a great cause. Mentorship for the youth in the community is very important. And we'll get into your current career, which is in commercial real estate. You are an advisor for Wolf Real Estate. So, how long have you been a part of commercial real estate, Phil?
So I've been investing since I left the league in 2014. I've been investing in real estate since then.
Hmm.
I've been with Wolf actually selling commercial real estate since, it's been about 2 years right now.
Hmm.
But my background kind of came from multifamily and landlord tenant investing.
Okay. Very good. Um, yeah, I mean that sounds like an interesting journey. Making that transition, and I did a little research on the website. It seems like a very successful company in terms of the sales. You deal. I'm sure you deal with different vendors, different shops, and very professional entities. Um, but I wanted to ask you, since I'm in the car business, do you sell or lease any real estate to car dealerships or what have you?
I actually do have a client. So yeah, we're trying to put a billboard on right next to the car dealership right now.
All right.
Um, yeah, so that's
Okay.
what's kind of neat about commercial real estate is you're involved in a lot of different areas of business, so it gives you exposure to a lot of different people and a lot of different businesses.
Yeah, that's interesting. I never thought of that. That it also has to do with advertising as well, like the billboards. Yeah, that's pretty
So
cool.
yeah, certainly.
Yeah. Okay. Um, so very good, very cool. Another segment I wanted to touch on. I actually have a trip planned to go to Dallas, Texas. We're
Ah,
gonna,
cool.
yeah, and my father, and his friends are going to go see the Sooners play the Texas Longhorns, the new SEC teams, and we're going to tour the city of Dallas. We just wanted to go over the preliminary itinerary. We're going to arrive the 7th on a Thursday, and during the afternoon, we're going to tour the sixth floor museum
Yeah,
at the Dealey Plaza. It's my first
yep.
time in Dallas. I've been to Austin before to see the Longhorns play Baylor. My cousin and co-host Colin actually went to Texas, and we were able to go see a game there and see Austin. But that was a cool experience. That's the first part of the trip. We're going to go to YO Ranch Steakhouse in the evening, Thursday evening. And then the next day, we're going to A&T, yeah, AT&T Stadium, Cowboys, where the Cowboys play. We're
Yep.
going to tour the stadium. That's going to be pretty cool. And then we plan on touring the Dallas Cowboys World Corporate Headquarters at the Star in Frisco, which is a little ways away, I take it, from the Cowboy Stadium.
Right.
And also, uh, we're going to visit the George W. Bush Library. I believe that's near SMU. And then the party starts with the pep rally of the Sooners and everything. So there's going to be a bunch of things we're going to do. Do you have any suggestions in terms of places to go in Dallas?
Now it sounds like a great agenda.
Yeah.
I'll add one place to it
Okay.
is Hard Eight Barbecue.
Hard Eight Barbecue.
Hard Eight Barbecue. There's I know at least one location in Irving there, but there's it's a Texas style barbecue and probably some of the best there is down there.
Awesome. Yeah, Texas is a really cool state. There's a lot of places to see. Um, being that I work for a Ford dealer, we get the King Ranch trucks. They're amazing vehicles. They come
Yeah.
from the actual King Ranch in Texas,
Yep.
and yeah, they're cool vehicles. I'd love to visit that down there. But
I
yeah.
would too. I'll tell you, I love the King Ranch. I love the King Ranch. I love the Raptor. You guys, the Raptors are tough to find right now, though, huh?
Absolutely, yeah. We just got some literature on the 2021. Um, we haven't gotten any yet. We should be getting some soon. But yeah, the Raptors, they're really cool vehicles. That's very good for off-roading speed and just comfort, overall comfort.
Just
Yeah,
looking cool.
absolutely. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's pretty pricey, but I mean, if you have the
Yeah.
means, certainly go for it. Um, I mean, they have. I was thinking about it this morning. Ford has definitely got to be leading, the market and overall truck models, because they're going to be having the Lightning coming out, which is going to be the all
Yeah,
electric, and the Maverick. It's going to be, a hybrid vehicle and gas as well. It's the short bed doesn't really do much for me. There's the four. You're going to have like a 4 foot, bed if you have like a four door, and it's 4 foot and 4 and 5. So it's similar to the Ranger, which isn't too bad.
right.
I mean, if you're looking for like a good city vehicle or something to tool around in, but I'm really a big fan of the F-150. Like the first vehicle I drove was the Dodge Dakota,
Mhm.
and believe it or not, it was like a 97. It had a lot of miles on it. I started driving it my senior year in high school, drove it all throughout college, and I returned it to the family dealership, and we just sold it recently, like just like a couple weeks ago, and it drives okay. I mean, the steering could be a little bit better, but the paint is just like completely peeled off, and like the person who bought it couldn't be happier. But
Yeah,
I got good use out of it. It's a long bed, and I kind of like took it for granted, being that like it has like a good bed liner molded into it. Um, it's all lined up perfectly. Whereas like I just have the drop in mat in my current truck, so um, once you get your truck, I definitely suggest going with something like a spray in bed liner, because that's what
yeah.
my old truck had.
I know.
Um,
We're gonna have to talk, man, when that time comes.
Definitely, man. I'll
I'll be
give you
giving
my
you a call.
information. Yeah. So, this is Phil Costa, everyone. He is in commercial real estate, Wolf Commercial Real Estate, the Athlete Foundation. He is on Instagram. What's your Instagram handle?
Cool. I know this because my fiance just asked me yesterday. We were filling something out.
All right.
Costa underscore Phil. I'm
Okay.
not the biggest on Instagram, but I'm
All
on
right.
there.
Okay, I gotcha. He is on social media, and definitely contact him. You can get his information. We have, I just make sure the campers know we have our merchandise. You'll be able to see it on our social media page at Cousin Camp Podcast. And Phil, it was a pleasure having you on. Any closing comments?
Nah, just I appreciate it, man. And it was nice we were able to link up. We like you said earlier in the show, we got connected from Tony Lorraine, aka Coach Nut, who is a special person to me and in my life. And he was, we talked about mentors with the Athlete Foundation. Coach Nut was a mentor and really the mentor for me growing up. And, even now I think, it's more reciprocated now, and we help each other out. But, he's just an important person. I'm glad he was able to link us up.
Absolutely, yeah. I completely agree with you. Um, but take care, Phil. It was a pleasure having you on. Until next time, campers, have a good one.
Hey, thanks, Chris.
Anytime.